Hi everyone, Mary Hansen from Up North Stampin. Tonight I have a really fun kit to show you that came out in the Occasions catalog, or just before that, that features the use of the Stampin blends. You've been probably hearing about the Stampin blends or have seen them in the Occasions catalog, and maybe some of you have yet to see them in action or are kind of wondering how they work. And so I'm here tonight to kind of show you a combo thing, and one of them is this fun kit called Color Me Happy, and the other is to just give you a little bit of a preview with the Stampin blends. The kit called Color Me Happy is a kit that creates 16 cards altogether, and they are of various sizes, as you can see. And so that's what this one looks like. And as you can see from the ones I've already made up, they create this fun little pink bird one. Thank you. So happy for you in these pinks and rich raspberry. And then this one in not quite navy with also some, I think it's pool party, and then of course the pumpkin shades. And all of them are equally as fun, and each one kind of features something that the Stampin blends can do. The Stampin blends themselves came out in the Occasions catalog, and they're found on page 31. The Stampin blends come in 12 different colors, and what they did was just pick 12 popular colors of the inks that we already have in Stampin' Up. Everything coordinates beautifully. And what happens with the Stampin' blends is that they come in both a light and a dark shade. If you buy both of them, it's called the combo pack. The combo pack is $9. So for example, if I'm going to take my pool party, which is what these are, these two, one of them is in the dark and one's in the light. Now the combo is $9, or you can just go ahead and buy either one, the light or the dark, for $4.50. So there's really no financial break if you buy the combo. But when you see how the blends work, you'll probably agree that you will want to have the light and the dark in order to create the blending that the Stampin' blends do. The blends also come in ivory and bronze, and one of the reasons they do that is because for the ivory, of course, you're creating all kinds of skin tones. Same with the bronze, and you can combine those to create any kind of skin tone that you could possibly want. The color lifter that is featured here for $4.50 is an interesting marker, and what happens with those is that it basically fixes your boo-boos. It literally lifts the color up if you, for example, colored a little outside of the lines, and it kind of pushes it back into the line. So it is nice for correcting mistakes. When you've spent time doing all this coloring, it's nice to not have to, throw something because you made a little blooper. If you want to buy all the markers and the ivory, bronze, and color lifter, and including a tuxedo black memento pad, I believe that the entire markers collection is $120, $150. And I'll tell you a little bit more about the memento pad in a moment. And you can see that in the Occasions catalog, there are a number of stamp sets that are now coming out that kind of feature this more colory-like feature that the Stampin' blends do so well. So if you're interested in trying out the Stampin' blends, perhaps you want to buy just a few colors, one or two that you really, really love, or three, and then you want to get a hold of one of these stamp sets that look intriguing to you, and this is how you can start to get going with the blends. Okay, you can see that these two are for sure cut out for that. The Color Me Happy kit features a stamp set that goes right with it, and it is also called Color Me Happy. And the Color Me Happy stamp set includes all the things in the images that you see to make these 4 different cards. A thank you, the 2 fun little lanterns, and these 2 cute birds, a couple of sentiments, and then that flower that in the kit anyway is done with the pink pirouette shades. So those are pretty as well. I like the stamp set a lot, and I know I will use it for something other than just the kit. That's nice. I've seen the birds used a lot. I've seen the flowers used a lot in lots of different shades. So it's really, really fun. All right, so anyway, for the kit, they recommend 4 different colors, and then you would create the kit exactly how it is recommended. And those 4 are the pool party shades, the pink pirouette, the not quite navy, and the pumpkin pie, light and dark. So those were the 4 sets of markers that I purchased first, knowing that I wanted to create this kit. And again, from there then I purchased more that I really liked and kind of went with some of my other favorite colors. And slowly but surely I'm collecting all 12 shades. So that's really fun. All right, today I'm going to show you just the 2 birds on this kit. And I'm going to just use the blends to kind of demonstrate how those work. And then you can kind of see how the cards go together as we go. None of these cards are difficult to make. The fun of it is in the coloring as well, and I really did have a blast doing that. Now, I'm no expert by any means, so bear with me, but I think I at least have a few concepts down, and the more I work with them, the more fun I have with them. So that's the part I like the best. It's all about practice. I'm going to take the white panel that we used in this on this panel for the birds, and I'm just going to go ahead and stamp those 2 and then do a little coloring. So here's the Memento Black ink pad that they recommend you use with the markers, and I'll tell you why. The Memento Black is a permanent fade resistant ink, and you will need the permanence of this ink because these Stampin' Blend markers are not like normal markers. They are alcohol markers. They are alcohol based, and the alcohol based means that they do blend, the colors blend, the dark and light. The colors will also blend into a different shade. So if you have a different black, you might find that your black is going to run. The other thing I would recommend is if you're using your own Stampin' Up! Cardstock, the shimmer, white shimmer cardstock, and then the Whisper White thick cardstock work the best for coloring. And this is probably a thick, you can tell that came with the kit because it's a little heavier. And the reason they do that is, again, because these markers are not like regular markers, they do go through. The other thing to remember is when you are working with the markers, you probably want to use something underneath your surface because the colors will run through at times. The more blending you do, the more they will run. Also, you probably want to use the markers as a panel of something. Notice how this panel is put onto this card. If you don't, count on whatever it is you're stamping on for it to go through and bleed to the other side. And that can be okay, but it can be not okay if it's on the inside of your card, for example. You do not want that. So think ahead a little bit when you're trying to kind of plan your card itself or your project. All right, so I'm going to ink this up very well. Make sure we've got some good ink going. And Memento Black is a really nice black ink. Creates sharp, dark black images. So there's one, and then I'm going to stamp up the other guy. These 2 birds are so cute because they face each other. You can use just one or you could use both. And I'm just going to go ahead and, doesn't really matter, we want them just sitting looking at each other. The card itself is called Oh Hello, so that's what's so cute about it. They're kind of saying hello to each other, right? All right, I'm going to go ahead and start, I think, with the pool party. These guys on the right-hand side, and just to kind of show you how it works. It is recommended that you start always with the light color, and really basically color the whole bird with the light color first, okay, or the whole object, whatever it is you are markering. Notice that the Stampin' Blend has 2 different ends. One of the ends is thicker and one of the ends is thinner. That is for you to decide when you need each end. So I think I'm going to go ahead and use the thicker end for now. And again, this is the Pool Party Light. And so we're just going to go over the whole bird. You can even hear, and I absolutely love how smooth these markers are when you go over surface. They just glide. And I'm going to just quickly, I'm going to try not to go over the lines, but I don't want to take too long here either. Go over the entire bird except for the beak and the legs and feet. Now, you want this kind of watery color look, so don't worry if it's not smooth. I mean, you can make it smooth if you want, but otherwise I like to keep mine a little bit varied in the color, right? So notice how that looks. I don't have to have it perfect. I'm going to color this guy around here. There. Now, the more I color, the darker it will get. So for example, let's say I want a little bit more around his beak. As I start to keep blending in and working it in, you know, I can get darker and darker on the shades. All right, now, once that's kind of done, and notice I got darker just by using a second coat over that, then I go ahead and replace this cap. Now, you will listen for a nice solid click. If you don't hear the click, then it's not sealed or not shut. So you want to make sure you've got that nice click. And then I'm going to take my darker Pool Party, and again, I think I can use the thicker of the ends. And I'm going to, I guess just because this is what I know how to do, I'm going to go ahead and make his tummy even a little bit darker. I'm going to darken some of these wing feathers perhaps, and then sometimes like I can accent these wings here. Sometimes it's where the lines, there are some lines already made that you want to go ahead and bring more emphasis to that. Maybe a little bit of shadow right underneath his wing. Now, you can leave it like that, but notice there's quite a differentiation between the light and the dark. Then what happens is you go back with your light, and now here's where the blending comes in. I can kind of start to pull one into the other. You can still see the color differentiation, but it's a little less pronounced, and you're just starting to blend and blend and blend. Okay, and again, it's up to you how much you want to do. I'm not an artist by any means, but I like it, and I'm going to leave it for now. Notice how it is colored over onto the other side, not horribly, but you do get that bleeding through, okay? And that is one thing that you will get. Okay, and you can just sit and play with this until you get exactly what you want. And I'm going to go ahead and grab my other pink guy just for fun. Because I can, right? Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and color this whole thing this pretty light. You can kind of hear the squeak of the marker. And again, you can be as careful as you'd like and go as slowly as you'd want to. All right. There, that is the lighter of the pink pirouette, which is really nice light shade. And then here's the darker shade of the pink pirouette. Go again with the heavier. And this time, let's say I want to just differentiate between some of these lines. I'm only going to do where the lines already are. See if you like that effect. Really, I have no idea what to do. I'm just doing what I feel. Okay, now let's do a little blending with that and see if you like that any better. So this guy is colored a little bit differently than the other one, right? Now maybe start to get, there, I like that. And you can kind of see the difference between his little feather spots that are kind of brought out. The beak and the feet in this case are the light, I think the light, or maybe the dark of the pumpkin pie. Let's see. Yep, I think it's just this lighter shade of pumpkin pie, and I'm just gonna go ahead and finish this one off. Very, very simple. Do the same with this guy. Calling them guys. I don't know if they're guy birds or not, but that's what I am thinking of them as. There, and there you have it. And I mean, it's so fun. I am looking forward to getting a more detailed stamp set that I can really have some fun trying to color and, you know, have some fun with some different colors and so on. But basically that's it. Once I have that built, the rest of the card goes together very quickly, and you'll see that with all of the different cards in the kit. And of course, everything you need is included in the kit as well. And again, it's called Color Me Happy. If you have any questions about the markers or anything else, get a hold of me at Up North Stampin' or on my Up North Stampin' Facebook page. And again, this has been Mary Hanson with Up North Stampin'. Have a great evening.